To shoppers, this reusable plastic bag is just something to carry their groceries. But for many families in Salinas, this little green bag means much more.
The highway is shut down from Cooper to Espinosa Road. Now, normally at this time, this is a very busy road as people are getting off work. Residents are out here. Some are really frustrated because they can't get back to their home. They've been evacuated for several hours, and they'd have no idea when they will be let back inside of their homes. It's still a very active scene here. Let me show you. There's about 8 police cars on scene, and now I did speak with neighbors, and one of them did tell me that they believe the person who was shot is a 15-year-old. 2 of them were found with multiple gunshot wounds, 1 woman and 1 man. They were pronounced dead at the scene. Here on Cabernet Street, where police have part of the neighborhood blocked off, you can see right there that the CSI unit has just arrived. All we know right now, a man is dead after a residential burglary. That's when it kind of all unraveled. They pushed us back behind the parking lot, roped off the area. We saw officers walking in with evidence bags, and we found out a few hours later what had happened. Pretty sad out here. The Target parking lot has been closed for several hours while police continue to investigate this deadly shooting and try and put the pieces together. Many people had to leave their car behind because it's still an active crime scene even tonight. It was a scary situation for Target shoppers in Sand City when shots were fired in the parking lot.
I was walking through at the time and heard gunshots.
Sand City police say it started when 2 officers confronted 2 suspects outside Target.
The officers responded to Target store here on a call that the subjects were here. They were known to the officers, known to have warrants for their arrest. After the officers confronted them, there was apparently an exchange of gunfire.
The 2 officers were injured and taken to the hospital, but they're expected to survive.
We're very concerned about our officers. We're concerned for the families of the people that have been killed. It's trying on a very small agency like ours. It's a small family, much like all the agencies on the peninsula, and we're just very concerned for all our officers.
Both suspects were shot and killed. Police are not releasing the names of the suspects or officers at this time until family is notified. And thankfully, there were no innocent bystanders hurt.
I was like, man, am I gonna die today? That's what I was thinking.
Again, this is still a very active investigation. Police still have many questions. The district attorney's office has taken over the investigation, collecting evidence and talking with witnesses. Live in Sand City, Monica Jacquez, News Channel 5, your Central Coast news source. Joshua was only 11 years old when he was hit and killed here off Memorial Drive by a county bus. Now, police say no arrests have been made. In the meantime, the community here is devastated and is really coming out to support and help the family.
$1, please help support Joshua Rodriguez.
A little boy with a big heart. That's how close friends and family describe 11-year-old Joshua Rodriguez. And on Wednesday night at the Hollister Farmers Market, the community came together for a fundraiser to help the family, selling everything from sodas to donated goods.
When I found out what happened, I just started crying and just went straight to the hospital. And then I found out that he was actually gone, and it just was sad.
Cody Cordova was Joshua's best friend. He says they were together the night before Josh was killed. That's a day Cody's mom, Sheila Cordova, says she will never forget.
It hurts me to see him because when he asked me, he goes, Mom, what do I do? I lost my best friend. What am I going to do now?
Police say on Monday, just after 4 in the afternoon, Joshua was hit by a county bus at the intersection of Memorial Drive and Verdun Avenue. He died at the hospital. It was right near the skate park, a place Cody and Joshua spent many hours together.
I told my son, he goes, I don't want to go to the skate park anymore, Mom. I said, you know what? I don't think Josh would want that. I think Josh would want you to go.
Since word spread about Joshua's death, fundraising efforts popped up all over the city. Next Tuesday, Domino's Pizza is donating all of its proceeds earned that day to the family.
He was the most lovable person you could ever know. Just if you're with him, if he was mad or sad, he would still be happy.
As to how the crash happened, Hollister police says it's still investigating. Witnesses say the bus driver jumped out to try and help Josh, and so far, police say the driver has not been charged. Now, I spoke with Joshua's mom off camera. She told me she's overwhelmed by the community support and is so thankful to everyone who has really come out and helped during their time of mourning. Live in Hollister, Monica Jacquez, News Channel 5. It's been 3 months since 3-year-old Delilah and 6-year-old Sean Terra were found dead inside a storage locker in Redding. The Salinas Police Department called it the worst case of child abuse it's ever seen.
As professionals, we're very proud of what we do. And when we see something that didn't happen right, that's a hard pill.
Tuesday, the Monterey County Department of Social Services released a 130-page case file that includes references dating as far back as 2006, before the children came to live with their aunt and accused killer, Tammy Huntsman. In the files, social workers report the children were left home alone a lot, looked hungry, and wearing dirty clothes. Despite all this, the children said they never felt unsafe.
We're absolutely committed to making sure that we have the systems in place to prevent that particular situation from happening again.
Also made public Tuesday, the state's investigation of the county, which found a critical fifth referral that was not acted upon because social workers believed it was a duplicate report.
We should have had staff that did their best to follow through with that, and that didn't occur. It had the issues of general neglect, the issues of lice, and it had the issues of the child potentially being tied up.
This case is prompting the county to make some changes, including hiring more social workers, bringing in an analyst to strengthen policies and procedures, and look into a warrant process.
It's something that really gives social workers a stronger tool to work with families when their family is being evasive or refusing access to the children, which under law they can unless we have a warrant.
The county says the last contact with the children in Huntsman was in September, 3 months before they were found dead. Monica Jacquez, KION, your Central Coast news source. Yeah, Spencer, right now humpback whales are feeding in the Monterey Bay, but because of the delay in crab season, whales are getting caught in fishing gear that's normally not in the water this time of year. So now crabbers are trying to help. It's been a rough season for crab fishermen after a domoic acid outbreak kept them out of the water for months. And now that they're finally allowed to fish, many are choosing to wrap up early.
We're doing everything we can to reduce entanglements and working with the environmental groups and the whale disentanglement teams to alter our gear types and ways we fish to reduce entanglements.
Commercial fisherman Walter Dyerly keeps his family's restaurant stocked with crabs. But when he heard whales kept getting caught in fishing lines, he decided to take his gear out of the water.
When you spend as much time at sea alone as the commercial fishing fleet does, the Leviathan and Albatross become your best friends, and we don't want to see them hurt or do any damage.
Peak crab season is usually wrapped up by March, but because of the delay, crabbers are working late into the season.
The humpback whales are here to feed, and unfortunately they often feed right in the same areas as Dungeness crab fishermen set their crab traps.
Jeff Chester with Oceana says when crab season opened in March, there were 7 whale entanglements in 10 days.
Everyone's really equally concerned about this. Fishermen are really stepping up right now and doing something on a voluntary basis.
We're just there to catch the crabs and not cause any collateral damage with any of the sea life, mammal or fish or bird.
Some fishermen are also choosing to move their gear to places whales usually don't feed, but there aren't as many crabs there either. The commercial crab season ends on June 30th. Monica Jacquez, KION, your Central Coast news source.